Hi, I'm Rita Wilkins, also known as the Downsizing Designer. So I'm joining you tonight from sunny Florida, here for a couple of weeks. So tonight's topic is decluttering. Learning to let go is easier than you might think. So you keep saying you want to declutter your home and get organized because you have way too much stuff that you never even use. You might even say that you can never find what you need when you need it. And then you might also say you don't want to leave the decluttering to your kids after you die, which is a big problem, that's happening right now with so many baby boomers. So you start decluttering and then you get stuck because you say over and over again, it's so hard to let go of your stuff. And so for the same old reasons, and many of them are predictable, that that you might say, I might need it someday. You might say that it's still perfectly good, so why should I get rid of it? Or you might even say, you spent good money on it, so it would be wasting money and it'd be a shame to give something away. So the cycle continues and the clutter just keeps building up in your home because you just can't seem to let go of your stuff. So what if I were to tell you that letting go of your stuff is much easier than you might think? So there are several things I want to talk to you about tonight, and it's how to declutter your home when you find it's almost impossible. And there's 5 or 6 things I want to talk to you about. So the first one is to close your eyes for a minute and just imagine what your house would look like when it's decluttered. Now that exercise is actually pretty practical. You might sit in your favorite chair in your family room or your library, whatever, and just kind of close your eyes and imagine what that would be like, how it would make you feel when your house was decluttered. The second thing to do is remind yourself of what your home looked like when you first fell in love with it. You looked around and you saw all those possibilities and how that made you feel. So imagine what that feeling was like again. And the third step is to decide on one area of your home that would make the biggest impact for you right now if you were to clear it out of all of that clutter. So it could be your family room, your kitchen, your master bedroom, or your home office. Whichever room would make the biggest difference to you right now, that's the one that I would prioritize and keep that vision in mind. What would it be like if that room was, perfectly clutter-free? Then number 4 is to build on your success. So pick that next area that matters most and declutter it. And as you know, progress begets progress. So you're going to be building on that, and it's one room at a time, one area at a time. And you may not finish the room, just in one day. It might take several days, but just stick with it and declutter those areas that matter the most to you. And then build your decluttering mindset. This is step number 5. So once you start gaining momentum, you start confronting the things that you've been telling yourself for many years. That one that says you might need it someday. So let's just say that rototiller that you might use once a year, or that snowblower that I know in the north, we had so little snow this year that, having a snowblower just kind of doesn't make sense. So ask yourself, when did you last use it? And if you did need it again at some point, could you borrow it? Could you rent it? And then instead free up that space that has been taking up room in your garage, maybe to park your car. So, and I have to laugh at some of these things because I've done it myself, and that's why it's kind of funny. So, and the second thing that you might have been telling yourself, a way for you to build your decluttering mindset, is the one that says it's still perfectly good. Why would I give it away? So that could be your business suit. It could be that dressy, dresses that you rarely wear. Ask yourself, when you last used it, when you last wore it, might someone else benefit from having that instead of it taking up space in your own closet? Some of the rental dresses right now, I know my daughter-in-law rented her wedding dress, and I was so proud of her because she's frugal and it just made sense to her. And then the third thing is I paid good money for it. So for me, it was always that silk jacket, that it was a fortune, even on sale. And I had to ask myself, why did I buy that in the first place? And the reason was it was on sale. Bottom line is I really wore it, and how could it be a bargain if I really wore it? So I had to accept the fact that the money was gone, and it was keeping me from downsizing and decluttering. And so it was easier for me then, when I changed my mindset, to just let it go. And number 6 is strengthen your decluttering muscle. So if you're going to the gym once a week, you might be seeing some results. But if you start going to the gym 3 times a week, you're going to see bigger results. And the same is true for decluttering. So build that decluttering muscle by working on your new your decluttering project as often as you can and as consistently as you can. And number 7 is change your perspective. So if you're trying to declutter, and if you want things, if you have things that you no longer want, need, or use, why are you holding on to them? And there may be someone else, some organization, some group of people in your own community that might desperately need some of the things that you don't want, need, or use. So let it go and find joy in giving to others. So letting go really is easier than you think. So much of the time is what we tell ourselves. So this poem by Zena Harrington kind of, for me, says it all that I want to leave with you. It's about the freedom and the happiness that you find when that you find in learning to let go. So the more stuff I donated, the more I was able to breathe. The more trash I gave away, the more weight I felt lifted. The more stuff I took out of my home, the more I was able to see a new life. And the more uncluttered I lived, the more joy I found. So I hope that inspires you. I always look forward to talking to you each week, even though I'm on vacation. This is as important to me as it is to you, and I truly appreciate all of your great comments. You inspire me. So I look forward to seeing you again next week. Have a good night.